Welcome. It is Tuesday. Oh, I'm going to adjust my phone just a little bit in the holder. Hopefully that didn't go too wild for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Tuesday, April 15th. Wow, I'm way off. Let's see. I'm looking for myself on my Facebook business page. There we go. To make sure I can see comments. Oh, I forgot to hit the mute button on my phone. Oh, let's adjust this a little bit, bring it back so you can see my whole table or workspace. But thank you. It is almost 4 o'clock. Hello, Tammy. How are you? If I fall asleep, no, I won't fall asleep. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right. Welcome. It is 4 o'clock on the dot. It is Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. Tammy and I decided we were going to case the catalog. So not the new catalog because we can't. Oh no. Wait. All right. Am I back? Tammy, am I back? Because it told me it was waiting for the video. I'm guessing I'm back. Anyway. I'll go on. Hopefully I am back. Anyway, we are casing the catalog. We are casing the annual catalog, the May 2024 to April 2025 catalog. It is good for another, let's see, today's the 15th. It's good through April 30th, so another 15 days. We got 2 weeks left of this catalog. And then starting May 6th, we have a new catalog, and we can't show you the inside yet, but I believe we are going to be casing that catalog after or in May sometime. So, but anyway, casing the catalog, basically what it means is we go through the catalog and we find I got glitched for 1 second, but I'm back. Yay, I'm back. So I'm glad. But what case means, it means copy and share everything, or copy and, I can't remember what the other S, because there's 2 different ways you can say it. And copy and share, copy and steal, but I don't like the steal because I'm not stealing, I'm not taking anything. I'm just expanding on and sharing what I've learned and seen from other people. So we're casing the catalog, and today I chose one of my favorite sets out in bundles, and it's Spotlight on Nature on page 69, and I'm so excited because this is carrying through, or will be found on the online section of once May comes around, and so it is available again for next year. I'm so excited, and I'm doing this particular card here. I'm not doing it exactly how they have it for a couple of reasons. One, I believe because I can't see the way the card opens up. I believe this is a full sheet of the watercolor, fluid watercolor paper. And I wasn't sure if that was the card base or everything else. So, or if it was just put on another piece of cardstock to make the card. So what I've done is and I like the color, I love blues, so I wanted to play with the blues. So I went with Azure Afternoon as my card base. I cut a piece of watercolor paper, and I'm going to create this background, but I'm going to create, I'm glad you guys love the blues. I'm such a blues person. Tammy, shall I share our story about the blues and Spotlight on Nature? Yesterday I shared with Tammy and Patty what I was going to be doing today, and Tammy had to laugh, and she shared with me that apparently we share the same brain when it came to this, because she was just getting ready to create this card in blue with Spotlight on Nature for today. But apparently she did it with the sketched butterflies on the page right over, and she actually did this card here. And I can't wait to watch her video this evening. I'm going to curl up after dinner. It's a quiet night for me, and watch her video and see how she created that card. So I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, the watercolor here, they used the watercolor painters. I'm not going to do that because watercolor painters are no longer available through Stampin' Up. So I am going to show you another way to get this sort of look, but it's going to be called, it's the baby wipe technique. And we're going to use baby wipes and reinkers. I'm going to be using Azure Afternoon and Balmy Blue. And then we're going to create this. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to set that over there. I'll put this right up here. So first things first, I have my Azure Afternoon. It is 8.5 by 5.5, cut at 4 1/4, fold and burnish. If I can find, oh, excuse my reach, my bone folder, burnish that, and we're going to set that off to the side. Then what we're going to do is, let me give you the pieces and parts of what we're going to do. Watercolor paper, it is 5 3/8 heights by 4 1/8 wide, and a basic white that is 3 3/4 inch wide by 5 inches tall. And then we use a small piece of balmy blue. And at first I tried using the, the next set up. You know what? I forgot to show you these wonderful dies and stamps. I'll show those to you in a minute. But you're going to need probably about a 2 inch by 2 inch square of balmy blue that you're going to die cut out. And you need 2 pieces of Azure Afternoon. They're a 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches. So a 1/2 inch wide and 2.5 inches long. And that's all the pieces that we need for today. So we're going to set these off real quick so I can show you the stamp set and die set. Spotlight on Nature. Beautiful stamps and excellent dies. I thought I had them right here with me, but I don't see them. Oh, there they are. They're covered. I love these dies because they're beautiful circles, and there's 3 different patterns. You have the, what I like to call the Le Fleur, or whatever, it's that French, for the 3 little pieces. It reminds me of one of the French designs. Then I have my dots and dashes, which I think of when I think of Morse code, but it's my dots and dashes. And then you have the other ones that are just, they're round with this ridge on it. And some people say that when you cut it out in white, it looks like a paper plate. But anyway, we're going to use the smallest of my French one with the Le Fleur, Fleur de whatever. I can't pronounce it. I never took French. Didn't take French in high school. Took German. Still can't speak it, except for a couple of words. But anyway, this is what we're going to use. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the messiest part. And we're going to use our watercolor paper, and we're going to use a baby wipe. And you know what? That one's not as wet as I want it. So I'm going to keep that off to the side, get a fresh one. And we're going to fold it into 4s, actually fold it into 8s. And I'm going to start with, yes, paper plate design. I'm going to start with my balmy blue because I want it to be, although you can't see it, it's sort of an ombre-ish. And I'm going to start with my balmy blue. And I'm going to put 3 drops on it. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to slightly, I'll put the lid back on this so it doesn't dry out. And I'm just going to take it and I'm going to sort of dab. And this is great to have like a silicone mat underneath because it cleans up very easily. I'm just going to swipe it across and just rub it. And you can see it gets a little bit darker and it gets a little bit lighter. I'm going to rub it across. All right. All right, there we go. And now I think I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to turn it inside out. And then I'm going to put a little Azure Afternoon on it. Just a couple drops because I just want to add a little bit of darker to it. A little bit of dark ink to it. I'm going to actually rub it around a little bit. And then I'm just going to dab and start, and I love how these sort of blend together. All right. And then I'm going to rub it a little bit with the blank just to get it a little more smeared, I guess would be the technical term, to get the ink over a little bit. Now this is going to be a little damp, so I'm going to throw this away. And first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that other one that I didn't use. I'm going to clean off my mat, and I'm going to grab a piece of paper towel so that I can dry that off so I don't get anything else. Oh, thank you, Patty. I'm glad I learned this technique from you, Patty. So I thank you for teaching me this technique. All right, I saw it on one of your videos. Now I'm going to take my heat embossing tool, my heat tool, and I'm going to blow on it to sort of dry this out, because the diaper wipe does make it a little damp, but it doesn't take long to heat up and to dry this. And I'll dry it and put it like this, and then we'll dry it most of the way, and then we'll let it dry the rest of the way. See, it's almost dry already. All right. Oh my goodness, hold on. I hit my mouse and I think, oh, absolutely gorgeous. I need to get the watercolor paper. Yes, I actually have it in my basket because I'm almost out of watercolor paper. I want to do it again. You've never done this. Yes, it's fun, Tammy. It really is. But you have to be ready for inky fingers. Actually, I did this in a class about a year ago. And what I did is I went out and bought the inexpensive clear latex free, or the medical gloves, plastic gloves, and we used that so that way they didn't get their fingers all inky. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set this up to the side, and we're going to go ahead and stamp on this. And we're going to stamp, oops, I'm sorry. Ugh. Believe it or not, I'm going to stamp the butterfly first, but we're going to use these 4 stamps from the stamp set. We're going to use the tulips, which is my favorite flower. We're going to use the butterfly. We're going to use the crosshatch stamp set. You'll see that. And we're going to make this a thanks card, a thank you card. So we're going to use these 4 stamps. I'm going to set these off to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the butterfly in here. I'm going to put it closer to the edge and a little way up. And we're going to use our Memento black ink because we're going to use, now I think because I think in the original catalog, I think they used, I'd have to look, what did they use? They used water painters. So my guess is they used the technique where they put the ink from the ink pad onto the glass block, and then they picked up the water from that, or picked up the color from that to do the painting on these, because they actually stamped on watercolor paper. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it on white, and I'm going to actually use my Stampin' blends. So we're gonna put our butterfly right about there. Ooh, that one turned out good. And then we're gonna stamp this one. And because this stamp is so large, I like to actually take this one on the larger stamps, turn them upside down, and apply the ink in this manner and press the ink on. So I'm gonna do that. And we're using the Memento because when you use your Stampin' blends, you can't use, this is the one to use. The Stays On is for permanent, and that's when you're actually doing watercoloring. So, all right, now we're gonna do this. We're gonna put the stem a little bit lower near the butterfly. I'm gonna angle it a little bit and just push down. I'm not gonna rock. I'm just gonna put a little pressure down. All right, lift straight up, and there is my stamp. So, all right, now we're going to do some watercoloring, not watercoloring, we're gonna do some blending. And the 3 colors that I've picked out are Azure Afternoon, light and dark, and Balmy Blue, light and dark. And you know, it's funny, is usually I like to use Granny Apple Green, but for my leaves, but I've discovered I really, really like Lemon Lime Twist for my leaves. They're a little bit brighter. So I'm going to use Lemon Lime Twist for my leaves, and I'm going to do my leaves first. I've also brought out the color lifter to help with some of the fading, but we're going to see if I can do this butterfly a little bit different so he's not quite so blotchy. So let's go ahead. We're going to start with the dark Lemon Lime Twist, and I'm going to use the bullet tip point, and I'm just going to go on the inside a little bit and go along those lines and add some darkness and down at the bottom, just like that. And then we're gonna also take it and we're gonna just color along the stem to add some color to that stem. All right, right there. All right, so we've got that. I'm going to add a little more dark up there. Oops. And then we're going to use some light. Hey, Anne, welcome. Hello, catching my live for the last at least a few minutes. Oh, I'm so glad you could join us for a few minutes. I miss you guys. And I so wish I could have seen you guys at Raleigh. But my goal is to make it to the next one in Long Beach. I hope you're going to be there. All right, we're going to use the light Lemon Lime Twist and color in and blend in with the dark Lemon Lime Twist. I might even grab that Granny Apple Green and add a little bit more, add some more contrast to this. I think I'm going to do that and see how it looks. You guys let me know what you think. All right, we're going to grab that Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to add a little contrast with the Granny Apple Green to this. But I think I'm going to go with light Granny Apple Green just because Granny Apple Green is a little bit darker already. And we're going to take the bullet point. And let's go ahead and just add a little bit of, I'm going to add a little bit just in the center, you know, where the leaves sort of bend a little bit together. We're going to add a little bit of coloring right in the middle there. All right. I sort of like that. It adds a little bit of depth towards the center. All right, so now we're going to do our, I hope long reach works out. Yes. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our butterfly. I'm going to turn this just a little bit. And I'm going to use my light Azure Afternoon. And we're going to just go along some of these lines with the light Azure Afternoon. It's a little bit darker, but it'll look nice. It will blend well with the baby blue, or the baby. I keep wanting to say baby blue, not balmy blue. So we're going to add just a little bit in, and then we're going to, I'm just going to touch a little bit on some of these lines with my Azure Afternoon. And now we're going to take my balmy blue, and I think I'm going to take my light balmy blue, and I'm going to take the paint tip size. Yeah, I know. Isn't it funny? I love it too. I love it when they join our lives. All right, I'm going to just push out a little bit. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I sort of like in the catalog. This one I went all the way to the edge, and I tried lightening it with my color lifter. But if you actually look at the catalog, it's got some white on the edge. It sort of blends out. So I think I'm going to do that. We might, just because it's how I roll sometimes, I might throw a little Wink of Stella on this, even though it's not listed in the catalog. So I don't know. I haven't decided. All right, so there's my butterfly. And now we're pretty much going to do the same thing for our flowers. And so I want to go light Azure Afternoon. Actually, I said I was going to use my darker colors, but I think I used my dark balmy blue and my light Azure Afternoon. I think those are the ones we're going to stick with. We're not going to use the other ones. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to use our dark Azure Afternoon to go along these lines and create some depth at the bottom. All right, there we go. Let's see. When the school year ends, I hope to catch lots more of your live videos. Oh, goodness. I'm hoping to be able to go back to doing a little more live videos on Fridays. I am crossing my fingers. Maybe I can get back into it once the school year ends. I did stop only because it was just too exhausting to try and plan 2 lives every week while working full time. And I forgot how exhausting working with children full time can be. All right. I love every minute though. Don't get me wrong. I love every minute. I love I work with everybody from kindergarten all the way up to 5th grade. And I love every single one of my students that I work with. All right. Let's go ahead and add our balmy blue. And we're going to just go up to the edge. We're not going to get all of it. We're going to leave a little white. Just a little bit. We're going to blend it in with our dark azure afternoon. All right, there we go. I sort of like this, but we're going to add a little bit of zigzag up there. I might even add a little bit of my color lifter just sort of to blend in the edge from the white into the blue. We're going to just add a little color lifter to sort of smudge it a little bit, I guess you could say, blend it so that it isn't quite such a harsh contrast on my thing. And we're going to do the same thing here for the butterflies. So there we go. I think I like this better than I like this one in terms of the coloring. I don't know how they do it all either. All right. So now let's set this aside. And we're going to stamp our sentiment, and we're going to stamp our little pieces of blue. And we're going to use Azure Afternoon. And we're going to stamp the thanks on our card, our circle here, and we're going to use the hashtag, or the hash marks to decorate the little 1/2 inch by 2.5 inch. So I'm just going to haphazardly put these hash marks on it. Some of them will overlap, some of them will not. I'm not going to be too picky about it. Some are a little bit darker, some are not. It just adds a little extra contrast, and so it gives it some depth is what I like about it. So we've got that there, and we're going to do our thanks. Make sure. All right. And we're going to try and center this, but I don't want to put it. All right. Oh, there we go. Oh, couldn't have planned that better if I wanted to. All right. Let's move our things off here. Now we're going to take the flowers, and you know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to clean this. So where is... you know what? It'll dry quicker if I use my handy dandy little alcohol prep pads. I like keeping these at my desk because they're great for quick cleanups. And because it's not water, it dries rather quickly as alcohol does. So it does make you gag a little bit, but we're going to do that. It looks like it's almost dry, but this isn't drying as quickly as I want it to. So we're going to always have a roll of paper towels nearby. That's my motto. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach this card here, or not the card, the panel to that. Let's go ahead and grab our, for some reason I'm just grabbing I can tell you, I flip on a dime. I go through stages. I'm going to do my Stampin' Seal. And we're going to center that on our page. There we go. And then we're going to take this and we're going to layer these a little bit like this. But what I want to do is I want to cut the edges off. So where's my paper snips? There they are. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut downward. And then on this one, I'm going to cut upward so that they're going in. So it almost, what you could do if you wanted to is you could do a 1 inch by 2.5 inch piece, stamp it all with the cross hatches. Then you could create a, what do they call it? It's not a banner. Oh, Tammy, Patty, Ann, help me remember. It's, if it was like one solid piece and we clipped it here and then we cut here and here, I can't remember the name of it. I'm drawing a blank. It's the end of my day and I'm tired. So, but anyway, what we do is we cut it so that you have them going and they create that little banner or flag or whatever. And then we're going to offset them a little bit so they make that little V shape. And I'm going to attach, let's do this. Let's attach this one to this first. And we're going to line up the edge with our watercolor paper. And then I'm going to attach this one. And we're going to put it at an angle. There we go. So we have that there. Banner. Okay, flag or banner. Okay, so I wasn't too far off. I'm feeling good about it then. All right, I'm going to take my thanks, and I'm going to grab a foam adhesive sheet that I've cut. And it needs to be cut even smaller. All right, let's cut this. I think that will fit. Yes, that fits. I'm going to do a foam adhesive sheet on the back. And we're going to put that right there in the center so you can see the flags of the banner. And then let's go ahead and attach this to our card. Now, my first card, you're going to notice there's more Azure Afternoon. That's because I cut the watercolor paper smaller. But after doing it and using this, putting the paper with the flowers on there, I realized that you didn't see much of the watercolor paper. And I really wanted to show that watercolor look. So I went ahead and made my watercolor paper a little bit larger this time. So let's go ahead. We're going to use a little Tombow glue because I want wiggle room when I'm putting something together that has such a small margin of matting like this. When you have only like a 1/16 of an inch all the way around, I like to have a little wiggle room, so I use my Tombow glue for that. All right, so there is our first, there's our page, and we're going to add some rainbow dots. The rainbow dots have also both the colors, both Azure Afternoon and Balmy Blue. And I'm going to use Balmy Blue because there's so much of the darker Azure Afternoon. Although, yeah, I think the Balmy Blue would look good. We might mix it up. I might do like one Balmy Blue or two Balmy Blues and an Azure Afternoon as soon as I find my take a pick tool. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead. I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a small Balmy Blue here. And then they had another one down here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a dark Azure, large Azure Afternoon right up. You know, what do you think? Do you think a dark Azure Afternoon, or should I go Balmy Blue, Balmy Blue, Balmy Blue? I'm thinking, actually, I think I'm going to go Balmy Blue all the way around. Let's go Balmy Blue. And I think I need more putty in my take a pick tool. All right, we're going to do that right there. All right, so there is our card. Oh, you think the Azure would make it pop? Well, maybe we can do that. You know what I've learned? Sometimes, see, this one, it didn't happen. But you know what? If this comes off and you don't have, the adhesive doesn't come off with it, no worries, because guess what, folks? This, save it, because you can use a glue dot or you can use a little bit of Tombow glue to make it adhesive again, to make it stick again. Let's go ahead and use the Azure Afternoon. Tammy and I think a lot alike, so maybe she's right. Maybe it's going to make it pop. All right, what do you think? The Azure makes it pop. Anne says, oh, thank you, Anne. I'm glad you think it's pretty. I appreciate that. All right, so there is our thing. Now, do you guys think I should go a little rogue? I've cased the card from the catalog in a way of but all three, Tammy. All right, I like this. I like them both. And I actually think I'm liking where I can see more of the Azure Afternoon off of it. But I think I'm going to add a little bit of a touch of Winkostella, just because, you know what? These tulips and this butterfly need a little bit of sparkle. I'm not a sparkly girl, but this stamp set just needs it. All right, so we've got a little bit of sparkle there. All right, and you know what I didn't do? We're gonna do it real quick because we're gonna make the inside. So let me cut a piece for the inside, and it's gonna be 4 by 5 1/4. And that's good. And then we'll stamp it. I think what we will do is stamp the butterfly down in the corner and color him. So let's do that real quick. All right, the paper pumpkin kit glue dots are perfect. Yes, they are, because they're smaller than some of the other ones, and they're on a flat sheet, so it's easier to attach them. But yeah, they're perfect for these, Anne. You're right. Thank you for pointing that out. All right, I'm going to do my butterfly right here. And then we're just going to do a little bit of coloring again. Won't take much. We'll just do a little bit along the lines. We'll do a little bit here. All right, and now we're going to blend our light balmy blue. And you know, it's funny, when you first do it, it doesn't look all that great, but you have to wait for the Stampin' blend to dry. Wait for the ink to dry, because it's amazing how much it blends and looks so pretty. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit. Up there. But there's our card. All right, let's put this on the inside, and it's a perfect thank you card that we cased from our catalog. Now, if you're looking for dimensions and all the information for creating this, I will have it on my blog tomorrow. So I would like to know, actually, out of curiosity, the colors are the same. I'm curious to know if you like the one I did today with the whiter mat of watercolor paper and the balmy blue and Azure Afternoon rainbow dots, or if you like the one where we can see some of the Azure Afternoon cardstock, the card base, more of the card base, and just the balmy blue. I would love to know which one is the one you like the most. Let me know if it's A or B, because I'm really liking, I'm curious to know what you guys think. I'm going to wait and listen. I know there's a little bit of a delay, but I'm curious to know which one you guys think which one's your favorite? Is it the A or is it B? Is it the one I created today or the one I created yesterday in practicing for this? Because we all know practice makes perfect. So anyway, all right, well, here's what I'm going to do. Go ahead and put it in the comments. I would love to know what you want. I think my personal favorite is, I really actually like this one a little bit more. I like A, then B. You like A first, then B, Patty. You love them both, Tommy. I do too, but there's something about this one. I almost think what I would do next time, and this is just me, is I would keep this watercolor the same, but instead of using balmy blue and Azure Afternoon, I'd probably just do a really light Azure or a really light balmy blue. And then I might cut this piece, the piece that the flower's on, a little bit more. A and B, both are beautiful. Well, I appreciate you guys thinking them both beautiful. They both have their beautiful parts. Each one of them is beautiful in their own special way. So, well, thank you so much for joining me. Let me tell you, you can join me at my blog tomorrow, www.Stampin with Jenn. Stampin has 2 N's, and so does Jenn. Come to my blog tomorrow, and I will have pictures of these as well as the dimensions for the card and this list of supplies I used. Let's see. Tammy says, love the coloring on A, but more azure around the edge. Yes. If I could put these two together, they'd be the perfect card, Tammy. But anyway, all of the information is here. Not only is all the information here, but there will be a link to Tammy's. If you didn't get a chance to watch Tammy's, there will be a link to hers as well with her card, as well as her, all the information you need for hers. So thank you, Anne. I'm so glad you were able to join us today. Enjoy your, what, are you guys having spring right now? Well, I'm sure you're having spring, but I'm curious what your spring is like. But anyway, we are going up and down on the roller coaster of weather. All right, I will not babble anymore. But anyway, I hope you join me tomorrow on my blog. And for more information about these, have a great week. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Next week is Tuesday's the 22nd. I can't remember what Tammy I have planned, but I can tell you the scrapbook trio is coming back 2 weeks from today. Patty, Tammy, and I will be doing the layout for the Wildly, which one is it? I have it over here in my, I think I have it over here in my stuff. It is the Wildflower Birthday scrapbook kit we're going to be doing. Oh, my signal got lost. Oh, I'm back. All right. I think that was my text way of telling me I need to wrap it up. So join us 2 weeks, and we are going to be doing the Wildflower Birthday scrapbooking kit, Tammy and Patty and I, and watch our Facebook and blogs for more information. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.